Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. We are here at the Auto Expo, which has come back after 3 years after the disruption due to COVID. And we are here at the Tata Motors Pavilion, which is one of the largest here at the Auto Expo. And today with us here it is Rajan Amba, Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Tata Motors Passenger Vehicle. Hello and welcome, sir.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I wanted to start with your market share has jumped in last 3 years,
Yes.
and the momentum is going on as we see. And I just wanted to ask, as the competition intensifies and more players are coming into this space, and how do you plan to maintain this market share, and what is your plan ahead to increase it?
I think first of all, you'll see today some of the plans on display which will help us to not just cement our current market share but also to grow it further. I think the focus on the Make in India, the focus on the safety aspects, the focus on design, and I think very importantly as well, the focus on optimizing features for our customers. So we give more money for value in that sense has been working very well for us, and we will absolutely continue on that path. I think that another thing that has worked extremely well for us is that we've we've come out with introductions or interventions at a very constant with a constant rhythm every 3 months. In each of our portfolios we've been having new developments. For example, this year alone we've had the CNG launches, we've had the Ultras DCA launch, we've had the Kaziranga, we've had the Dark Edition, we've had the Camouflage and Punch, we've had the Jet Edition. All of these have helped us to not only introduce our technology and introduce our uh, design excellence and superiority, but also to keep us at top of mind with the customers, and that's helped us to achieve what we have today. Where in this calendar year, for the first time in our history, we have significantly shot over our previous numbers. We've crossed 5 lakh units in this year, almost 5.25 in this calendar year. We've grown at 60% over last year, which is 2.5 times the growth of the industry. Our SUV presence has gotten strengthened. The Nexon continues to be the number one SUV brand in its category. The Tigor, along with the CAG, is the number two in the compact sedan category in that sense. So I think that all our cars are featuring. The Punch is also featuring in just a short period of 10 months. It became the first car to hit a 1 lakh unit. So I think that all these data points only kind of prove that the strategy or focus is working, and the introductions that you will see here today will only we hope accelerate that.
I wanted to ask that since the comments focus is mostly on EVs now, and all the policies are hovering around that segment only. So, what is the future that you see for ICE vehicles right now, the conventional vehicles? Because the adoption of electric vehicles is not very fast right now. And how do you see the future of conventional vehicles that are called powered by diesel and petrol?
I think I think the way I would put it is that EV is the most exciting thing today, and it is the future, of course. But 98% of the market today in the vehicle segment, in the personal mobility segment, is still ICE vehicles. So it's not going away soon, right? And there's a lot of work that has to be done both by brands and by and on the infrastructure to be able to provide easy access and to be able to provide comfort to the customer to buy into the EV space. Plus, of course, the costs or the pricing because of certain imports which are required at this point in time. As those things become more localized, etc., then there will be a lot of proliferation of EV. But the fact is that while Tata Motors has a significant lead in that space with almost 90% market share, it is 8% of our business. It's 1 to 2% overall of the industry, and therefore it will take some time. We will have to, all of us, especially Tata Motors, will have to continue to innovate and continue with the strategies and the launches that we are having in the ICE segment, because that is still as I said, 98% of the market.
Coming to the Auto Expo, and what do you think are the main attractions of Tata Motors right now, because you oversee the business of passenger vehicles in the ICE category, and what do you see as the main attraction of the passenger vehicle category of Tata Motors here at Auto Expo?
Well, of course, greener mobility is one of the platforms, and I think on the CNG side, you'll see some very interesting innovation where we've come out with uh, our in-house technology, where we have introduced a two-cylinder CNG vehicle as opposed to one cylinder, which simply means that the capacity does not change, but the two-cylinder technology allows us to hide the cylinders in a manner that still enables the car to have the significant boot space, which otherwise today's CNG's vehicles in the market do not have. They basically, we have one large cylinder and that takes away the entire capacity. So that has been one of the constraints for the customers to move to CNG from a greener mobility perspective. So I think that is certainly a big innovation for us. On the Ultra side, Ultras has been a premium hatch for us, and it has been very well acknowledged for its design aesthetic and its 5-star rating. And in this time we're introducing, and there's been a demand for a sportier version. So you'll see a more sporty version of that, which is the racer, as we're calling it at this point in time. And of course we also have the introduction of the curve in ICE, which was earlier seen in the electric a few months back. You'll see it in a stunning avatar.
I just wanted to ask another thing that the tremendous growth that auto industry has seen this year, the momentum is kind of slowing down, and we see a lot of major automakers have said that they don't see that high of growth coming in the years. So, what kind of growth are you seeing for the industry in the coming year?
I think that uh, I think from our perspective, uh, the general feeling that you mentioned is right. It could be 1 or 2 points higher than that, but largely we expect it to be in that 8%, 10% range. Not so much more than that at this point in time. A lot, of course, will depend on how the commodity prices move, etc., etc., and what is the impact of the BS6 Phase 2 implementation that happens in terms of the price points and the escalations that happen on the price points, and what is the consumer reaction going to be to that. But having said that, you would have also noticed that this whole year has been about premium vehicles, and that is where most of the growth has come. The growth has not come from the lower end of the spectrum, which is also invariably going to become even more expensive from the BS6 Phase 2. So I think the efforts that all of us, that certainly from a Tata Motors perspective, that we're making on that segment will help us to again outpace or outperform the industry growth.
These new emission norms that are coming in, any idea what could be the cost impact on the vehicles?
No, that is something that I'm not prepared to divulge at this point in time. But I think that from our perspective, certainly we've done some excellent work in that space to make sure that not only are we compliant, but our engines are more efficient. And I think we certainly as a brand, also from a diesel perspective, are going to continue with all our diesel powertrains and all the current vehicles. And there has been no compromise there in terms of emission norms as well. So from that perspective, I think that we are very well placed, and we will evaluate the situation as things go and announce the prices as and when we put our BS6 Phase 2 in the market.
Somewhere your new forever strategy is working, and because the trends and the consumer behavior is changing very rapidly. So what was the thinking behind this new forever technology where you update your vehicles very rapidly in the smaller times periods? And do you think that the technology is changing that fast, or the consumers preferences are also changing at that pace?
I think there are two aspects. One is the technology aspect, and one is the aesthetic aspect of it. I think consumers are becoming more and more discerning and possibly demanding. But I think I say discerning that in the sense that people are looking for something which is different, which is differentiated, which has a story that they can relate to. For example, if you look at the Kaziranga edition that we did some time back, customers related to it extremely well. Not just the story that was created around it, but how the story connected to the vehicle, and it did extremely well for us. You take the Dark Edition, which is going to be in its third avatar. You see the new Dark Edition that we're launching with the Harrier and Safari, for example. And I think that it has surprised everybody. And now it's in its third year in that sense. And for example, in the Harrier Safari, it is 45% of our business comes from the Dark Edition. and in a market where typically you're told that black cars do not sell. So I think that there is a lot of uh, potential and space to go into places and to excite customers, and to very often the customers don't know what they are looking for or want until it's actually put in front of them and they go wow. And I think that's been the beauty of the whole last 2 years, that we've created these stories, and both on the product side and on the marketing side, and the consumers have really enjoyed those stories.
Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So that was Rajan Amba, Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.